The handshake between President Uhuru-Muigai Kenyatta and, of course, the current president, that is William Ruto, has a direct impact on Dr. Fred Matiang'i's bid for presidency in 2027. Why am I saying so? As he did with Raila Amolo Odinga, when he agreed that he's going to support Raila Amolo Odinga in his bid for the AU seat, of course, William Ruto again also signed a very nice deal, had a very nice agreement with Raila Amolo Odinga as far as the 2027 bid for presidency is concerned. Because we can see the kind of inroads he's making to Nyanza Coast, and actually, as a result of also bringing Ali Hassan Joho and Wycliffe Ambeso Oparanya to government, he's able to tame the ambitions of being president and deputy president in 2027. So therefore, William Ruto does not make a deal with any leader in this country without including the 2027 conversation. How am I saying that it's going to affect Matiang'i? Matiang'i is also going to vie for presidency. Actually, he's planning to vie for presidency in 2027. Despite that he has not announced it officially, he's going to vie for presidency in 2027, whether you like it. I mean, he can also decide to not to, but he's going to vie according to the things are right now. That is the reason as to why I'm saying that William Ruto is going, the deal between William Ruto and Uhuru-Muigai Kenyatta is going to affect Matiang'i in 2027. But I'm going to take you through on this video on how that's going to affect him. But before I take you through, if this is the first time you're watching our videos, please make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. Now, there are a few things in this country when you want to vie for presidency that you must consider. First one of all, it is the popularity. Whether you're well accepted by most of the people, not even 50%, just even 30% of Kenyans, so that as you get in the campaign, you push the percentage to more than 50+1. So as we speak right now, that is a tick for Dr. Fred Matiang'i. Is he liked by people of Kenya? Yes. When he was in education, he did very well. People liked the way he streamlined things in the education. Actually, he's the person who ensured that these Gen Zs that we have right now are sharp and also determined, because the environment that he had set during that time made these people to work very hard, read hard and smart to ensure at least they have joined campus. So when you saw he was in interior, he did a very commendable job. During this time, Dr. Fred Matiang'i was subjected to some challenges, like now Al-Shabaab entrenched in the country, where we had Al-Shabaab attacking Dusit 2 in Nairobi. And also, I think during this time, they went to Westgate more. No, actually, it was just Dusit 2. So therefore, he had challenges that we saw the way he managed. It was okay. Also, when he was in IT, he did very well. We had Matiang'i do some things, actually, even an industry, I think, was launched in JKUAT. That means that he did very well as far as the ministerial management is concerned. Now, Dr. Fred Matiang'i was also the chief cabinet secretary for President Uhuru-Muigai Kenyatta, and he took charge of inspecting the government projects and across the country. And for those that Uhuru was able to achieve during that time, he did a commendable job. So, considering all these achievements that Dr. Fred Matiang'i made, and the kind of thinking that Dr. Fred Matiang'i has, the way he does his things, already gained popularity across the country. We saw him visit schools when he was a cabinet secretary for education, and as a result, most people liked the way he was interacting with the people, going to the ground, seeing how the systems are working in various parts of this country. Through his operation, we realized so many things were not right in most of the schools. So therefore, when it comes to the issues to do with popularity, it is a tick. Now, another thing that you have to consider before you vie for presidency in this country, it is numbers. Numbers in that you have a starting base. Uhuru Kenyatta, when he was vying for presidency, he ensured that he has Mount Kenya, which is 5+ million intact for him. So he was going to move across the country, Ghana maybe 3 or 2 point something, at least to beat Raila Amolo Odinga. And that one, he had the numbers. Raila Amolo Odinga, before he got into presidency, he had Luo Nyanza, Western, and of course Coast. And all these votes combined, they gave him a strong base for him to begin the journey towards presidency. And that was commendable, because that's how Raila Amolo Odinga was able to control 50% of this country. And that's how Uhuru Kenyatta got into presidency, not just once, but twice. Now, on Fred Matiang'i's side, does he have the numbers? Assuming that things remain the way in 2022, that means that Dr. Fred Matiang'i, the first backyard he has is the Gusii region. And the Gusii region can hardly bring 1 million on board, because we saw how these people voted across. But if they vote as a block entirely, they can hit 1.5 million votes. That one I'm certain about, because cases are so many. We are so many, of course. Now, cases alone, 1.5 is not enough for Matiang'i. That means he needed an endorsement. From who? His friend, Uhuru-Muigai Kenyatta. So will Uhuru-Muigai Kenyatta endorse Dr. Fred Matiang'i? Of course, with a deal with William Ruto? I don't think so. I don't think so. That's where we are going to see the Matiang'i being nominated to join government, Mutahi Kagwe, or someone else. But Matiang'i, without Uhuru Kenyatta, he does not have the numbers to challenge William Ruto. If everything remains as 2002, assuming that the youths do not support Matiang'i and everything remains the way it was, that means Matiang'i needs certain support, and that is Uhuru-Muigai Kenyatta. So deal with William Ruto, Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto, jeopardizes the plan from Matiang'i come 2027. The Kikuyu votes expected to be endorsed by, of course, Uhuru Kenyatta will not be automatic because Rigathi Gachagua ni chuma ya zamani. It's not easy to negotiate with him and get into a deal. You must do something at least to get him on board. So therefore, that is something that is making it difficult. But it is not lost because he can still come to the ground, go to Mount Kenya and ask for votes and will still get. Now, other thing we want to look at here is the track record. Does Matiang'i have the track record? He does have the track record. He has been doing well in the various ministerial positions that he's been managing. So therefore, that one is not a question. He will be able to be given votes by Kenyans if they were using the track record, which he has better than any other leader in this country. Another thing we want to talk about is money. Wow. Uhuru Kenyatta was to bring the friends on board. Of course, he used also financial muscles, at least to support Dr. Freddie Matiang'i going 2027, assuming Matiang'i does not get external support or funds, the way other leaders do. But if there's a deal between him and William Ruto, still it comes back to affect Dr. Freddie Matiang'i negatively. Why do I say so? Because now the money, who is going to give him the money now for 2027? How is he going to raise the money? Matiang'i has not created that political connection in this country because we saw how he was working. He was working with instructions from the boss. And he has not been in Kenya to interact with these politicians and these bigwigs, particularly the Mount Kenya billionaires. So it's not going to be easy as such to get them on board. But of course, he can. We can't rule it out. That's why I'm saying on this video that Matiang'i is almost completely finished. They are trying to finish him not to vie for presidency in 2027. And that means that all will stop if Uhuru Kenyatta. I mean, it's hard if Uhuru Kenyatta really had gotten into a deal with William Ruto as far as 2027 is concerned. But if there's no deal and they decide to support him in 2027, well and good. But remember, they're also friends with Kalonzo Musyoka. So there's a negotiation that's going to take place between these leaders for it to happen. But the fact remains, I doubt whether William Ruto did not discuss with Uhuru Kenyatta on 2027 issues. And particularly if there are seats that are served for Uhuru Kenyatta's friends, let's wait and see Matiang'i into government. And if Matiang'i gets into government, that means that Matiang'i is prevented to vie for presidency in 2027. That gives Okiya Mtata an automatic support from the youths. Now, another thing I want to talk about is the campaign team. Does Matiang'i have a campaign team? Not yet. Campaign team don't just mean the people who plan your journeys, such and stuff. Matiang'i is not a politician, but a technocrat, someone who is coming now to politics as a new person. And when we check critically what is happening with Matiang'i as we speak right now, it is clear that he must come back to Kenya, create friends, particularly the MCAs, members of parliament, senators, who will be able to move across the country or even campaign in their local areas for him. Apart from that, to get them to his party so that when they campaign, the campaign is named. Because it's good when you get to the presidency, at least in parliament, you also have numbers. Very critical. Lastly, I want to talk about proper organization. Is Matiang'i organized? We all know that he's an IT expert. That means that when it comes to organization, with the way we saw Uhuru Kenyatta's campaigns, Matiang'i was behind them. That means very well that Matiang'i is organized to be able to challenge William Ruto come 2027. I don't know what is your take as far as the handshake effect on Matiang'i is concerned, but that is my video there and my opinion. Please let me see in the comment section what you have to say as far as Matiang'i's presidential bid is concerned. See you next time for more videos. My name is Abel Mukwa.